This video will help you to get started in connecting any LLM or AI model with Notion pages in your account. All you require is a Notion account and a laptop that has Python installed in it. I will walk you through the step-by-step process from getting the code, setting up the environment, integrating Notion, connecting to the page, and letting AI do the magic on the page. If you are a programmer, rest assured, no third-party apps like Innatan, Zapier, Make, or Pabbly is used. Just plain Python and its packages that connect with the variety of other AI models. I've been training and building integrations with LLMs for a couple of years now, and I know LLMs are good at one thing, and that is generating text. With Notion, it is obvious that it is good at one thing, and that is organizing text. The Notion team had created an elegant design choice to call the AI with the press of a spacebar. That was a very good design choice. The Notion AI is enabled across the workspace, and that means it can see all your databases, pages, users, triggers, and button automations that you have already enabled. Notion is already connecting with AI providers like OpenAI, Anthropic to provide the AI-enabled features. How did I know all these things? It is available in the Notion's list of sub-processors. You can take a look at that list. The link is given below. With simple triggers and enormous power of AI, it's a game changer, right? But there is some caveats. Let us look at it. When it comes to free Notion account, it has got already many features which helps in organizing and automating. The full AI features gets enabled with $10 per month. Mind you, you don't need to be in any of the paid plan. Even for the free plan, the $10 per month will enable the full AI features. So an individual will spend $120 per year. Now the question is, will it be beneficial if that amount is spent directly on OpenAI or Anthropic, or in fact trying to upgrade the hardware to run the Ollama open source models? In 12 months, the open source models will also improve rapidly. We'll be understanding how this $120 can be used in the next slide. Why we have to connect Notion to our own AI models. The cost outlay of $120 is equivalent to 98 million input tokens and 25 million output tokens for O3 mini model. We all know that OpenAI tokens can be purchased for as low as $5. Now, if we run the Ollama server in AWS G4 machines, then we can pay for 142 hours of G4DN 2x large machines, which have T4 GPUs. Think in another way. To use free Ollama model that is running locally on your own GPU or on your laptop, we will just continue using the free Notion account. We don't need to get the AI enabled to begin with. We will set up the environment for connecting Notion, and it is going to be free or for the paid models of your choice. We can get Jetson Nano at $99 and pay for its shipping too with $120. The most important thing is you will be having the hardware with you. What's more, you can learn the power and flexibility of Notion API, the Notion client, the integration of AI models with Notion, and a lot more. We'll be getting into the code and executing it next. So stay tuned for that. Getting the code and setting the environment is going to be pretty simple. The link for the code as well as the requirements.txt file is shared in the description below. You can actually open that and you can see the requirements.txt here. Next, you can look at the Notion OpenAI_chat.py. So this is the code file that we'll be using. We will not be walking through the code in this discussion. We'll be looking at how to use this code and get the things done. So that will be our primary step now. Let us go to the terminal. In the terminal, you will first of all need to download the code. So if you look at the terminal in my case, you can see I have the Notion OpenAI_chat.py. This is the file, and I have the requirements.txt. What I need to do is I need to create a separate environment. So this actually helps in keeping everything nice and tidy. So you need to use python-m venv space .venv. This command will create a .venv environment. In order to activate the environment in case of Linux, you have to use the command source, and I have to use the /bin activate command. So once I do that, the virtual environment will get activated. Next, we need to install the necessary dependencies. So for that, I need to use pip install -r requirements.txt. That will get the installation running. So in my case, I've already installed and kept this virtual environment up and running. So I don't need to actually do anything in this place. You can see that my installation is complete and all the necessary dependencies are already available. We will now understand how to get the API key from Notion. In order to get the API key, go to the workspace that you have already signed into, and you need to go into the settings. Inside the settings, you can go down here and you can click on connections. That should show the various apps and services that you are already connected from this workspace. Click on this develop or manage integrations. So click on that. Once you do that, you will be able to create new integrations. These integrations are going to give us the API key. So click on new integration and you can select the Notion workspace. So the workspace name is available here. So this is the workspace name. You can create multiple workspaces. Keep in mind that each workspace will have its own settings and the connections also will be separate. Each workspace is completely subdivided. So even though an account is having two workspaces, but both the workspaces cannot see what's happening inside it. That's very important. Let's go back, add the integration name. You can say integration AI. This is the integration name that you are using. This is the workspace that you are selecting. This is going to be internal and we are going to save. Ensure that you are not giving the name that has Notion in the word. That's very important. So configure the integration settings. Once you click on that, you'll see that the integration has started. You can look at the basic information. It is internal type, and this is the secret that you need to copy. So you can show, and it will show that you can copy this, and we have to use it in a place. So here you can see that it can read, update, and insert content. So it has to be enabled. You can leave this as it is. It need not read or insert comments, and it can only look at the read user information. So it will not do anything else to the user. So these capabilities are important, and taking this API key is important. So you can save it. And next, what you're going to do is we are going to go back to the code. So if you go back to the code, in the code, if you scroll down, you'll see that in this line, we have to provide the token. So the token that we copied from the integration, we have to place it here. In my case, I have the token already registered in my environmental variable. So I am taking it from that location. And this code is made public. So you can see that this code is available in the GitHub repo. So to avoid any API key leakage, I have recorded it in my environmental variable. When you are actually writing and running this code, you can directly paste the API key that you got right now. So if I go to the terminal and if I paste it here, you'll see that this is the API key I've got, and I can directly use it in the code without any challenge. So next, we will look at how to get the OpenAI API key. When it comes to OpenAI, we have to visit platform.openai.com. That is a website where you will log into your account, and you will have an account icon like this. You need to go to the dashboard. If you are not getting this dashboard option, you need to select the self or appropriate organization in this drop down. So once you do that, you will be able to get the default project and you'll be able to get the dashboard. So once you click that dashboard, you will be entering into this area where you can start working on the API usage also. So if you go down here, you can see the API keys. If you click that, you will see this page opening. This is one way of getting to the API keys, and the other way is to go to your profile, and inside your profile, you can go to the API keys here also. So there are two ways. The point I wanted to make is in both the cases, you will have to create new secret key, and you have to give a name for the secret key. In this case, I'm going to say Notion connection, and I need to select a project and create a key. The moment you create the key, you will see that the key is created, and you can copy this, and this copied key has to be used in this location. So if you go to this code again, you can see the OpenAI client, this API key here. So you can paste this API key directly here as a string, or you can paste it here as a string. In my case, I have already registered this to my environmental variables so that it will not be disclosed to anybody and to avoid leakage. So this is how you will get the OpenAI key currently. There have been other places and other discussions in the past about OpenAI API key, but recently things have changed. So that's why I have made this part. Getting the page ID is pretty straightforward when it comes to Notion. After you have created the API connection with Notion, you can create a new page in Notion. You can give it an icon, and you can give a background to it. And if you look at the top, you will see that it has got this particular number. So this is the page ID. This page ID, you have to copy that completely, and you have to paste it in this location. So if you see, this page ID is same as the page ID that you are seeing here. So if you zoom in, you can see that there is a BBB FC8 at the end. So that is the same thing that you're seeing here. So this is the page ID that has been already linked. you don't need to worry about this particular page ID. Even though I've shared, the token has to be shared with you guys. Then only you will be able to access this page. How will I give access to this page? That is the next step. So if you go to this location, you will have to go to the connections, and you will have to scroll down, and you will have to select the API integration that you have created. So in my case, I created integration AI, and also I have created additional integrations called as YT demo API. So this is an additional integration that I have created similar to integration AI. So don't worry about the names. The names are a little bit different, but I'm using this YT underscore demo API for connecting to this page. So with this, we have connected the integration to this page alone. Rest of the pages are not impacted by this connection. So only this page will be impacted. So keep this in mind. We have the Notion integration API key. We have the OpenAI API key already, and we also got the page ID of the page. Now we need to see how the integration works. So I have divided this window into two areas where you will look at the integration interface in this area, and we will look at the update to the Notion AI page in this page. So I'm gonna delete this update, and I'm going to now go to the terminal, and I'm going to start the code. So to start the code, I should be in the virtual environment. If you go to the initial discussion of this video, you will see how to enable the virtual environment. You need to use the Notion OpenAI chat.py file to start the server. And once you start the server, you will be given the address on which the server is running. So once you open that address, this is the address on which it is running. So if you click on this, it will open a page. So you saw that it is opening a page. Next, what you need to do is, I'm going to separate this page, and I'm going to divide it like this. So in this way, what will happen is, I can see both the updates together. Here, I'm going to ask for provide the best 10 movies by Christopher Nolan. Right, so these are the movies that I'm asking. And once I press this key, you will see that the question or the query became the heading here, and here the model is waiting for the response. And you can see the model has provided the response, and the same response is also getting updated here. You can see that both the locations. So this is the location where I am interacting with the OpenAI model, but whatever I'm interacting, whatever output I am getting is actually getting copied to my page. You see that the chat that you're having with AI becomes part of this Notion page itself. Next, we can ask to the AI, provide me the starting para for a class essay. This is a very basic requirement that you guys might be having in your college, or if you're working also. You can see that the requirement is becoming, the query that I made is becoming the heading again, and you'll see that it is giving the output as a first paragraph, and that entire paragraph becomes a single markdown here. Now, if we go ahead and if we ask what are the important items to be carried in the backpack for trekking, and you submit this, you'll see that it gives us a list of items. You can see that it is updating the page here, and it is giving us the list of items. So you saw the list of items getting updated here, and at the same time, you can see that the list of items got updated here also. Now, the point I wanted to make here is that we are directly connecting this OpenAI connected Python server to Notion page. And to do that, we are using this code, right? Not just that. So here we are only looking at OpenAI models, right? OpenAI GPT 4o mini model, that too. This is not even the 4o, the regular model. This is the mini model that we are working on. And you can see the updates here. Next, what you're going to see is we are going to do the same thing, but with Ollama local model, Llama 3 billion, Llama 3.2, 1 billion. In order for the Ollama model inference to be available to us, we need to open the Notion OpenAI chat.py in the editor of your choice, and we need to modify one line in this code. That one line is this 169 line. So you need to remove this OpenAI from here, and you need to add Ollama inference. If you look at this, the code, if you scroll up a bit, you will see that there is a function called get Ollama inference, and also there is another function called get OpenAI inference. In the last couple of minutes, we were looking at the OpenAI inference, and in this section, we will be looking at Ollama inference. So I'll be diving into the code in much more detail in the coming video. But if you are curious, you can take a look at this particular part of the section where I'm using Llama 3.2 1 billion model. So let us dive into the code without further. Same code we have to execute, the same OpenAI chat.py, but now it has been converted to internally Ollama inference. So it's not going to be difference when it comes to the way it is getting connected. It is still going to connect to the same page, right? Only thing is internally we have changed what is the model that you are connecting. So now when I'm going to ask what is the best time to climb Everest, Mount Everest, this is going to send the query to the model that is present locally on my laptop. This is going to take a little bit of a time. I'll be speeding up the video for that duration. In reality, if you are going to run this model locally on your RAM, it's going to take additional at least 1 to 2 minutes for the response. So I'm going to pause this and I will come back. You can see that after a considerable amount of time, I got a completely long explanation from Llama 3.21 billion with all the weather alerts and the various kinds of background details on when to climb Mount Everest. At the same time, you can see that it has given me all the details and updated to my Notion page also. By now, you must be getting the hang of the power that we are discussing. The AI is local. Your data is not going anywhere except your Notion own account as well as your local laptop machine. There is no involvement of AI models that is available in the remote servers. And also the cost is going to be your hardware cost. Compared to Notion AI, the completions are updated inside a single code block as a markdown. This is one of the main things that we can notice when we are working with the Python integration that we see in this video. The AI is enabled to summarize what is available in the page and answer about the history that it has accumulated in the page. So we can do all of these things with the AI that we have already connected, because we have actually created a kind of a history already inside the logic. The entire workspace can be provided as a context by converting it into vector databases, which is actually a discussion for another video altogether. However, if you are aware of how, if you look at the other videos that I've already made, you will be right now visualize how you can take the data from other Notion pages, databases, and you can make it into vector database. It's a straightforward process. Next is the database autofilling feature. We can enable it by updating the logic that is used in the Python code that I briefly showed. I'll be discussing the detail of the Python code and the code walkthrough in the next video. The Ollama server response improves as the size and the grade of the model is changed. Right now, I'm using a 1 billion 3.2 Llama model. If we are going to work with any of the latest models, the speed and the accuracy of the model is going to be much more predominant. So I would like you guys to take the code and deploy it on your own machine and see how you are able to get the things to run using this code and this requirements.txt. Apart from that, once you are able to run it, see what kind of challenges you're facing and leave a comment so that I can provide you some feedback. Next, it takes time for the concept of Python having all the control, because we can see that Notion is able to do all the work for you, right? At the same time, Python is able to do all the work for connecting with the Notion. You don't need any tools like Zapier, N8N, or Make to actually sit in the middle. You can do it directly with Python and the Notion. Even if you want to create some kind of an automation that is going to be triggered, you can actually do that by using cron job. There are various ideas and techniques that you can use for these kinds of activities. So there is no need for third-party integrations. The Python code is easy to read and modify. You can extend the code with AI and automate. In fact, the code that you are going to see in the next code walkthrough that we'll be going through, most of the code you can actually write it with help of ChatGPT itself. So if you go to this Notion OpenAI chat.py, this code that you are seeing here can be written directly by the ChatGPT itself. It's that straightforward. So I believe that it's time that you guys tried this Notion API and Python integration and see how it works out. So stay tuned for the next video where we dive into the code walkthrough. Leave a like, comment your ideas in the comment section, share it with others whom you think will need a system like this, and subscribe to my channel for further updates on similar kind of videos. With that said, I would like to leave this video with 4 words, that is explore, explore, practice, practice. See you guys, have a great time.